Excel 2016, Module 1, pages 47 through 52. Okay, go ahead and read page 47, hiding and unhiding rows, columns, and worksheets, and using flash fill. And then flip over to page 48 to enter the store IDs using flash fill. Step number 1, click cell A18. Type store ID as label and then press your enter key. With cell A19 as your active cell, step 2, type SG71-Keynes. Make sure it looks exactly like it is in the textbook. SG71-Keynes. SG71-Keynes. I always look up, make sure, press my enter key. Now, cell A20 is your active cell. Type capital FG. Okay? As soon as you complete those two, it tells me my flash fill should come up. Let's try one more. Excel 2016, pages 47 through 52. Go ahead and read page 47, hiding and unhiding rows, columns, and worksheets, and using flash fill. Then flip over to page 48 to enter the store IDs using flash fill. Click cell A18 and type in store ID, which I already have it here. Just type in store ID and press your enter key. Now we're going to type SG71-Keynes and press our enter key. Now with our cap locks on, FG, do you see how it comes up? And it picked up the pattern that we were using, and it says FG14 Twerple. This is correct, so go ahead and press your enter key, and it enters all of those. Now, I'll tell you right now, the reason I had store ID already in here is because the first time I tried this, it failed, and I had to start it over, and I cannot tell you why it did it, but because obviously I'm doing it for demonstration purposes, I had to go back and do it again. So I did it exactly the same way, but the first time it failed. It didn't work, so I just deleted what I had here and I did it again. And the second time and the third time, it did it just fine. So if yours fails the first time, just give it another try, okay? This happens in Excel and you're learning, and it's also difficult when it's not, you don't own the data, it's just something from a textbook. So if something fails, just try it over, and usually the second time it works. All right, read about formatting a worksheet and adding cell borders. And then we're going to move to page 49 to add borders around the worksheet cells. Step number 1, select the range A3 to B7. All right, we are A3 to B7. On the Home tab in the Font group, click the Borders button arrow and select All Borders. Okay, Home tab, Font group. This is your Borders button, and you want to hit this down pointing arrow, and we want all borders. Borders are added around each cell in the range. The Borders button changes to reflect the last selected border option, which in this case is all borders. The name of the selected border option appears in the button's screen tip. So if you touch it now, it says all borders. You see all these grid lines back here? These don't print. These are just for use so that you can see the intersection of the row and the column, which makes the cell. And if we went to print this, as you can see, all those grid lines, they don't print. You have to put borders on to get any of those lines. So that's what we're doing. So just remember, all of these, they don't print. We have to actually physically put borders on it to make anything print. Okay, step number 3. Select these two different ranges, and they're non-adjacent. When they're non-adjacent, you have to use your control key. First one, A9 through B16. Here's A, here's 9, here's B, here's 16. Now the second range, this is where you have to use your control key, which is H17 through I17, which is right here. It's just these two. So we're going to hold down our control key, select them both. Always remember to let go with your mouse button before the control key. And now we're just going to reach up and pop that all borders button, and that's going to put borders on all of them. All right, step number 5. another non-adjacent range, A18 through I23. Okay, so A18 through I23. So that's all of those. And then H25 through I28. So use your control key and get H25 through I28. Again, if you miss, just try again. Reach up and pop the All Borders button again. Now you're just going to deselect, and you're going to compare your screen to figure 1-35 on the bottom of page 49, and make sure that you have all of your borders in the correct area. And if you don't, you can just go back and fix it. And let's say you accidentally put a border in the wrong area. We would just select that area, go up to our Borders button, and select No Borders to turn it back off. All right, let's turn to page 50 and read about changing the font size. To change the font size of the worksheet title, let's go to cell A1, which is Control Home. On the Home tab in the Font group, click the Font Size button arrow to display a list of font sizes, and then select 28. So with cell A1 selected, on our Home tab in the Font group, we're going to hit this down pointing arrow, and we're going to go down and we're going to select 28 points. Now reach up and save real quick. Okay, on the bottom of page 50, read about printing a workbook, changing worksheet views as well. On the top of page 51, to switch the customer order worksheet to different views, click the Page Layout button on the status bar. Okay, your status bar is right down here. And if you touch these, they each light up with a name. So we're in Normal, here's Page Layout, and there's Page Break View, and they want us to select Page Layout. On the Zoom slider, click the Zoom Out button until we get to 50%. Your Zoom slider, zoom out, zoom in. So we're going to zoom out until it reads 50%. Reduced magnification makes it clear that the worksheet will spread over 2 pages when printed. Step number 3, click the Page Break View button right there. The view switches to Page Break Preview, which shows only those parts of the current worksheet that will print. A dotted blue border separates one page from another. Zoom the worksheet to 70% so that you can more easily read the contents of the worksheet. Okay, you can see we have page 1 and we have page 2. Go ahead and turn your textbook page. Now, step number 5, click the Normal button on the status bar. The worksheet returns to normal view. Notice that after viewing the worksheet in Page Layout View or Page Break View, a dotted black line appears in Normal View to show where the page breaks actually occur. And that is right there. See the dotted line? And this is a very important step. Printing your worksheets for your homework is going to become quite a chore as we go on and they become more complicated. So you need to make sure you understand how it works now and that you see your page breaks view and you understand where these page breaks are located. Changing the page orientation. Make sure you read that because again, this is something we're going to be doing all the time in future chapters before we print. Alright, to change the page orientation of the worksheet, on the ribbon, click the Page Layout tab. This tab includes options for changing how the worksheet is arranged. Alright, Page Layout tab. Step number 2. In the Page Setup group, click the Orientation button. Here's your Page Setup group, and here's Orientation. Select Landscape. Okay, did you see your page break jump? Click the Page Layout button on the status bar to switch to Page Layout View. And you'll see clearly that's printing on 2 pages. Okay, let's go on to the next video where you're going to learn how to scale your options and get it onto 1 page. So go ahead and hit save, and then move on to the next video.